What's up, weirdo? Shade Tree Surgeon here. I'm up here at Burt's Harley-Davidson, and we're doing a little bit of a different video today. A lot of times when I come up here to Burt's, I'm test riding rare bikes, CVOs, bikes that they put big bore kits in that make absolutely ridiculous horsepower. Basically, I'm riding around bikes that I couldn't afford and most of you guys couldn't afford either. Today, we're doing something different. That's not what we're doing. Today, we're looking at bikes that are incredibly affordable. And I like making videos like that because I like to ride around realistic bikes too, because that's what you guys are looking for. So my man Gunner called me up. In the move, Burt's has a bunch of stock left over, and basically what's sitting behind me are mechanic specials, which basically means these are bikes that they were going to fix up in their service department, but since they have so much stock right now, they're basically just not putting a dollar into them and letting them go for what they got in them. So one of the reasons I like to do videos like this is to show people that motorcycles are attainable. Even Harley-Davidsons. Like, everyone just kind of views Harley-Davidson as this unattainable item, like I could never afford a Harley-Davidson. Guess what? You can. So I'm going to go over these bikes a little bit, but I already have the two picked out that I think are the best deal sitting out here, and those are the two that I'm going to test ride today. Like I said, they got everything, and usually at a Harley dealership, the bikes are clean and spotless and don't have a speck of dust on them. These things have not been cleaned. There's a reason for that. The whole idea behind these is that they're not putting another dollar into them. So the two that caught my eye are sitting right next to each other right here. This Sportster and this Glide. Now this thing, they said, has 65,000 miles on it, and it is $8,900. That's a 2014 with a tour pack, with apes, with you know, the infotainment center and all this stuff on the bike, all the bells and whistles. $8,900. I'm sure when this bike was brand new, this thing had to have been 30 grand. Like, this, to me, this is insane. And no, $8,900 isn't free. It's not incredibly cheap, but for that bike, that's nothing. I don't care if it has 65,000 miles on it. You see those bikes with well over 100,000 miles on them, 150,000 miles on them all the time. And here's what I always say about Harley-Davidson is their heirloom engine. So the whole thing is if you put 150,000 miles on it and you want to rebuild the engine and continue riding this bike around, you can. So yeah, a full dress Harley for $8,900. Compared to what would a brand new one of these, like I said, 30 G's plus, have to be 30 grand plus. I'm gonna ride it around and see how it rides and see if it's a total turd bucket, I'll be honest. So the other one that really caught my eye is this Sportster right here. This is a 2007 1200 Sportster for $2,000. Now, when you talk about affordable, when you talk about an affordable motorcycle, that's not just affordable for a Harley, that's affordable for any motorcycle. $2 grand for your first bike, or even $2 grand for a project bike, or if you want to build a chopper, or if you want to build a flat tracker or a cafe racer, hell, if you just want to spend $2,000 to have a Sportster to ride around. This is what I say. This is why I like to make these videos. I'm not trying to sell these bikes for Burt's. Look at the prices. These bikes will sell. I don't have to help them sell these bikes. The prices are low. They'll sell them themselves. Basically, all I want to do is show my audience that it's attainable to get on two wheels. You can get a bike, and you can get the bike you want for the price that you want to pay. Trust me. Now, that Sportster does have 49,000 miles on it, so it's not exactly a low mileage bike, but you see them with more. You can put more on it. You can rebuild it, or you just, for $2 grand, ride the damn thing around till it dies and then rebuild it. Like, it's like, who cares? You can put an entirely new piston and top end kit in a 1200 Sportster for, I would say, probably under $1,500 if you're willing to do the work yourself. I will tell you, I've been wanting a Sportster to build. I would love to make like a flat tracker Sportster. Personally, I'm very tempted by this motorcycle. I just do not have room for any more motorcycles right now. But that is a hell of a deal. Once again, I haven't ridden it yet, so I might be talking about my ass. I might throw a leg over that thing and go, holy crap, it's a piece of shit. But there's only one way to find out. So let me grab my helmet and ride these things around and see what they're made of. I'm going to go ahead and test the Sportster first, because even though I think that is an absolutely smoking deal, the Sportster would be the bike that I would actually be interested in. So I want to throw a leg over this thing and see what does $2 grand get you? Well, $2 grand, it runs. You're already winning there.
It runs and rides for 2 G's. Dang. Dude, fuck out of town. I should buy this thing. I'm just like, as soon as I get it, I'm like, $2 grand? I have $2,000. I will be honest with you, it does not feel like there's anything wrong with this motorcycle at all. It feels perfectly fine. It feels like a totally fine motorcycle. And of course, maybe it'll blow up 2 miles down the road, but you never know. Like I said, though, when it comes to rebuilding stuff, because, like, yeah, 49,000 miles, I guess that's a lot for a Sportster. I don't know. You definitely see them go farther than that. Oh, this is a ripper, dude. You see them with more miles on them than that. But, I mean, it's on the high side for a Sportster. But, again, you could just ride this thing till it dies, man. It's not like you gotta rebuild it right out of the gate. It's not like you have to buy the thing and go like, oh, man, I immediately have to rebuild this because I bought it for $2,000. Fuck no, dude. They fucking rip this thing till it gives up the ghost, man. Dang, dude, this is a hell of a deal for any motorcycle, let alone a Sportster. And you got the big tank on it, too. I'm telling you, this would be a great first bike for somebody. A really great first motorcycle for an adult, because let me tell you, yeah, the Sportster is not the fastest motorcycle in the world, even the 1200, but this still makes really good power. So if you're a grown-up, this would definitely be an awesome first bike for you. And for $2 grand, run it into the ground. Who gives a shit? But when I look at it, what I think is this would be an awesome start to a project. This would be an awesome find for, like, oh, I'm going to build a chopper out of this, or I was saying a cafe racer, flat track, or something like this. This would be the perfect place to start because it's a running motorcycle. You have a running motorcycle for $2,000. It runs, it stops, it starts. Man. Bubba, come on. This always reminds me, every time you jump on a Sportster with pipes on it, you're just like, oh yeah, that's right. Sportsters are fun, man. Sportsters are fun motorcycles. I would buy this, but I can't. I'm not going to. Somebody else buy this bike. And they ship, so just like the Ride Factory. So somebody bought that Triumph. You remember the video I did on the Triumph? Somebody did buy it. That was a hell of a deal too. $2,200 for that Triumph. $2,000 for this. $19.95, baby. And they ship worldwide. If this is what you're looking for, call them up soon, because this one ain't gonna last. Not a running 1200 Sportster for $2,000. 2007 too. It's not like running 1989 Sportster for $2,000. All right, let's put this thing away. I don't want to get too excited. I ain't taking anything home today. But let's go ahead and see what that dresser is like. Complete opposite end of the spectrum. And yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, $8,900, but still, for what it is, dude, that's nothing. That is nothing. And if you know how much those motorcycles cost, you'll agree with me. God, it's so tempting. I want a Sportster. I've been wanting a Sportster. I'm just not ready for a Sportster right now. God, I feel like a deal like this will never come. Anyway, let me get the hell off this thing. Come on, man. Ultra Classic or Ultra Limited. Yeah, Ultra Limited. Full tour pack. All the bells and whistles with the lowers on it. This bike looks like it's ready to ride across the goddamn country. Oh, let's see how true that is. $8,900 for this motorcycle. Like I said, it's got some miles on it. 68,000 miles. It ain't brand new. Oh, radio works. There we go. I mean, that sounded like it started up just fine to me. Mute, I said. Personally, I do prefer the fixed fairing of the Road Glide, but oh man, I always forget how freaking comfortable these things are. Oh man, I did like 7 days in California on a Road Glide, and I really, even though I made a video talking shit about it, I actually really fell in love with that bike. I really loved it. And just sitting in the seat, I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right. That's why people love these things. Well, let's see what $8,900 gets you. Well, $8,900 gets you a running, riding ass motorcycle. Definitely feeling a little sluggish after jumping off that 1200 Sportster. That's definitely a ripper compared to this one, but whew, boy, man. God, it's nice having a little bit of back support. I do love these things. You talk about a bike that just freaking eats miles. This is where it's at, dude. Of course, I already got a mile-eating bike. I got the Ducati Multistrada, but oh man, this is more comfortable than it is, that's for sure. That's why I fell in love with it. We were in California just riding hundreds of miles a day. It was just so nice to do it huddled in the lap of luxury with your ass swaddled by this big old leather seat. Not bad, dude. Not bad at all. Dude, $8,900, man. For all this, you got all this going on for $8,900. This is why I wanted to ride these two bikes. They're wildly different motorcycles for wildly different prices, but you can't expect a big touring bike with a tour pack and a fairing and a radio and all this stuff to be $2,000. It's gonna be more expensive. But both these wildly different styles of bike are incredibly affordable. So $9 grand for this one, $2 grand for the Sportster. You have bare bones, stripped down, sporty, and you have all the bells and whistles at prices that you can do it. You could do this if you're like, man, Road Glide, that's the bike for me, gotta have it. Here you go, dude. It's fucking possible. You don't have to pay a premium for them. And that's why, you know, even though it's fun to go up to Harley-Davidson dealerships and ride the most expensive bikes they have and CVOs and super fast, high horsepower, custom builds, man, sometimes I just want to ride these and show you guys who watch my channel that, dude, you don't have to be rich. You don't have to be rich to get into this, man. That moves all right. It's never going to win any races, but that ain't why people buy them. They buy them to eat miles, dude. And let me tell you, it does it very, very well. I know that personally from experience. Like, I've never owned a Sportster, I've never owned one of these, but like I said, I did a few thousand miles in California on one of these guys, on the Road Glide with the frame-mounted fairing, and everything it promised to be, trust me. Anyway, I could ride this thing around even longer because I don't feel like I'm in any danger of buying it. It's not what I would buy. I'm not interested in this motorcycle. I just wanted to show it because I think out of everything that was sitting there, this and the Sportster were the best deals. And for somebody, this would be a very tempting motorcycle, just not for me. But I am going to go ahead and park it because I have even more videos to film today. Oh, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I do like to do this every once in a while just to show everybody that motorcycling is an attainable goal. You don't have to be rich to do it. You don't have to have a lot of money. You can have affordable transportation in a motorcycle. Affordable, cool, awesome transportation. And I don't know, man. I just like to see that. I don't like gatekeeping in the motorcycle world. Every person, every ass that gets put in a seat, every ass that gets put on a motorcycle is one more of us and one less of them. And I will tell you, I like to see that. The more motorcyclists we have out there, the better things will be for all of us. And so if you're interested in either one of these bikes, go ahead and give Bert's a call. Tell them old Shade Tree Surgeon sent you, and they'll hook it up. And like I said, they do ship worldwide, so you get these motorcycles sent anywhere. Or if you're local here in St. Pete or Tampa, just show up and ask about them or give them a call. And if you do end up buying one of these, hit me up on Instagram and let me know. I'd love to follow the journey of these motorcycles. I'm trying to do the same thing with that Triumph that ended up getting sold. Went to a guy in Canada, by the way. Very cool, and both good deals. And I don't know, I mean, obviously something more could go wrong with them, but I just rode them around. They seemed fine to me. Anyway, till next time, y'all, keep it weird.